Hey there, we're continuing our tutorial on White Christmas jazz piano, and in this video we're going to continue on where we left off in the last video. And in that video actually there's a full recording of White Christmas, so you know exactly what the goal is. In these tutorials what we're trying to figure out and help you with is playing the melody and finding nice chords to go underneath and why those chords actually work. So if you take a look at the sheet music that we're transcribing as we're going along and we're basically writing out chords, this is where we've got so far. So we're starting on the C6 chord. And you can see that we're up to the E minor 7th chord. So we're going to do a 3-6-2-5 progression. Now, of course, that appears as a turnaround in just about every jazz piece ever created. In fact, 1-6-2-5 is basically the basis for most jazz. Now, in this case, it's 3-6-2-5, but the difference is nominal. So we're going to do the E minor 7th chord to the A7. Now you'll notice that the melody note is just this. Then it just kind of hangs out there and then it goes. So we can do pretty much anything we want. In this particular case, we're going to learn a neat voicing for these two chords that is kind of cool. So we're going to start off with a full 10th in the left hand, where we've got the E up to the G, and we're going to throw in the B as well. And then in the right hand, we're going to play fourths. So G, D, and A. So that makes a nice voicing. I would take a look at that for all minor 7th chords because it tends to work really well. And then for the A7 flat 9, we are going to do a flat 9 in the melody. And also we're going to hit the 13th, so flat 9 and 13. So remember, even though it just says flat 9, you can add any upper structure notes that you want, those extensions. So in this case, we're going to play the 3rd with the right hand, which is the C sharp. And we're also going to do the F sharp, which is the 13th. And then in the top note, we're going to put B flat, which is essentially the flat 9. And in the left hand, we're just going to play 1 and 7. So A and G, like that. So here's our progression. And let's play the same voicing, a little bit different for the D minor 7th chord because we're going to play it like this. Well, actually, let's play it exactly the same. So we've got D and A, which is our fourths. And in the left hand, we're going to do 1, 5, and 3. And then when we get to here, we're not going to play these notes. We're just going to play a G7, flat 9, and 13 chord. And we're going to try something a little bit different. So we're going to slide into it a little bit. So let's play the flat 9, which is the G sharp or the A flat, and the E, and the B. So same chord as this one over here, the A7 flat 9 13, and same voicing, but we're going to do something a little bit different. Left hand is going to be the same though, so let's play 1 and 7, so G and F. And what we're going to do is we're going to play a grace note into the E, which is the D sharp. So our progression is now you'll hear that a lot. Those kinds of grace notes, you know, we get those a lot with blues. So from the beginning of the line, Now it starts to really sound like jazz. All right, let's move on to the next line. So we've got this line. And that should take us to the end of this video, just those 4 bars. So why do we do things slowly and explain them like this? Because that's how you learn how to voice chords. Because if you just put notes on a page and people read them, they don't necessarily get the idea behind voicing. All right, so let's take a screenshot of this. And starting with our C chord, we're gonna do the same voicing that we've been doing all along. It's a great solo piano voicing because, of course, you're getting the full chord. So 1, 5, and 3. And in the right hand, you're going to play, because the melody note is E, which is the 3rd of the chord, it limits us a little bit in what we can do. So we're going to play it like this. And then when we get to the B flat over C, it's kind of like a G minor 7th chord, like a 2-5 of F. But the melody note is E, which is still the 3rd. So I think what we'll do is play 1 and 7 in the left hand, keep it simple. Sorry, that's flat 7. And in the right hand, we're going to play 3 notes together. That, and that. So C, D, and E. So why that? It's a cluster. It sounds nice when it's in the middle of the piano or up here. It gets really low, it gets too... Can't do things too low because it just sounds muffled. Okay, and then when we get to the F chord again, we're continuing to put roots in the bass because of course it is mostly solo piano at this point. So, and then what I would suggest is, let's see, we've got G and A here. So we've got the 9th and the 3rd of the chord. And so when we get here, this sharp 11, what you want is just an upper structure triad, which is the C major chord. And in the left hand, 1, 3, and flat 7. So, and when we get to the next line, and it looks like we're going to have a bit more time here. Okay, so the reason I wrote these chords like this is because we're going to play like... So what we're going to do with this is we're going to throw down a pedal note. And if you're not familiar with pedal, it just basically means you're throwing down like the 5th of the key, and then you can play a bunch of things over top of it. So that's called a pedal note, if you've never heard the term before. So in this case, we're going to play 2 pedal notes, which is G and D, but we're going to go, I'll give you the rhythm, which is basically da. So da da, quarter note, and then so 1 and in the right hand just a C chord. So E, C, and G, like this. And then for the A7 altered chord, it's not really altered, it's more like just flat 9. So you've got the melody note is F, you've got C sharp, which is the 3rd of the chord, you've got B flat, which is in the key signature, and then down here at the bottom a G. And then just throw, because it's pretty busy, you want to just throw an A in the bass. And this chord Yeah, that's what I would do. So A flat in the bass, and then, so the sharp 11 is the melody note. So you've got a C in there as well, and then B flat, and then G flat. And then resolve it to the dominant 7th chord, which then resolves to the top of the tune. So just like this. And you can play a grace note into the B natural. So you can put like A sharp, just a quick grace note. Okay, so if you want to refer to the entire recording, please take a look at the video that I'm going to post right now here at the end of this video, and you can link to that other one, hear the full recording, and learn the tune from the beginning. In our next video, we're going to continue on with a little more of chord voicings for this because we haven't finished the tune yet, and also we're going to start talking about soloing and some possible soloing ideas. All right, so any comments are most welcome below. When you write comments, YouTube likes it, so that's cool. Go ahead and write anything you like thanks, Paul, would be awesome. And if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, I'd really appreciate it. We could use a few more subscribers, just like you. Have a great day.